Fuck yeah, with Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair, where all this music is going on. We're about to go in and find a body, probably. I'm assuming we're gonna find a charred body. We're gonna be like, who knows who this is, and we're gonna think it's Nagito, and then it's gonna turn out to actually have been Makoto, or it is gonna be Nagito and Makoto's gonna like show up. I feel like Makoto's involved, right? Because they're all like, oh, the him and the unlucky and the hope, and they've been kind of hinting that they've been dropping like little hints that Nagito might not actually literally be Makoto. A whole bunch, considering how different he is and what a weirdo he is, and he didn't seem to have a strong reaction. No one seemed actually to have a strong reaction to seeing Makoto in the files, the student files and everything. Is this someone's phone connected to the speaker here that's playing this? Which would make Nagito, I guess, like a clone, a twin, or like an android based on Makoto or something like that. Anyway, Connor, what do you think about all this?
Smells.
It definitely smells something. What is this smell? Burning flesh, maybe? Just a hopeful thought. I didn't notice it until the curtain was burning, but there's space on the other side of it too.
Could it be?
It might be better if we check it out, right? It might, it just may.
For sure.
I see, so there was a space beyond the curtain. I had no idea. I'm sure you didn't.
Oh my.
That smell was Miss Sonia? Seriously? I guess princesses, do that too. My mind is blown. What are you, a child? What a mess. Well, I don't feel that sorry about it since the only things I got burned were Monokuma merch. Indeed, indeed. Time to go back there? Why not? I walked toward the burned, tattered curtain with slow, methodical steps. I'd never experienced such an oppressive atmosphere before, and I couldn't help holding my breath. I mean, it's still smoking. We probably shouldn't be here yet. And then, on the other side of the curtain, I saw the true source of the intense malice that I had been feeling. A body! With a sword in it, is it? Or is it not a sword, but like a pipe or something? Well, it's got Nagito's clothes, whoever it is. Well, it does look like Nagito. It actually isn't all charred and everything. Mouth taped up. Knife through the hand. Seems a bit excessive if you ask me. I had no idea what I was looking at. By the time I realized I was looking at the remains of Nagito Kamaida, the ultimate lucky student, time had already stopped. Why would you need to tie him up, cover his mouth, stab his hand, and his belly? One wonders. Oh, sorry, Chapter 5, Smile and Hope in the Name of Despair, Deadly Life. Eventually, the shock finally registered with me. A numb feeling spread from the center of my brain almost instantly. Nagito is dead. And when I saw this before me, I wasn't able to comprehend that reality yet.
Huh? What? What?
What's going on here? Yeah, is he really dead?
Serious?
He's not pretending to be dead, is he? I mean, it's Nagito, you know? I thought for sure that we were gonna find them all charred or something. Well, I suppose there is still that parallel to Danganronpa 1 in that, if I'm right, that Makoto is around the island somewhere, then the whole like identity of the body plays into a part and similar. There's like a twin around somewhere. That's right, it's Nagito. He's always messed with us. He always tried to confuse us. That's why. I can't believe it. Nagito ended up in such a cruel state. Nagito is dead. Deep down, I believed that when the killings finally ended, I'd never see this guy again. I never expected I'd be looking at Nagito's body like this. Nagito probably thought the same thing. I couldn't help seeing it in his dead, frightened face. But on this island, unbelievably abnormal occurrences happen all the time. I never noticed his, waistcoat was, pixelated at the bottom. It's cool looking. Oh, I also didn't notice his legs had all these slashes in them. So it's like a spear, but it's... Oh, wait, no, sorry, that's one of the spears that was on the wall of the castle, I see, where Hajime was like, these don't look like they're just for show! Even Nagito couldn't escape that truth. But even something as small as that... Oh, we can guarantee he's not faking it, at least. Or it's not...
A body has been discovered!
This person isn't alive in any case. Even regardless of whether it's Nagito or not.
Now then, after a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin!
Don't tell me.
Body discovery announcement. Then it's for real.
Hey!
And Nagito's really dead?
Damn it.
It's not just that he's dead. I don't know whose voice that was. It's not just that he's dead. If the body discovery announcement was made, does that mean Nagito was killed? Well, that happens regardless of who did it. No, I guess it had to be a human chose to kill them. Well, not necessarily a human, but a person chose to kill them. Killed?
That's right.
Plus, that's one of us! I mean, that's what it means, right? One of us killed Nagito. One of us killed him so brutally. Then it's going to start again. There's also a Monokuma doll with a bloody spot on it. Huh? The class trial is going to start soon, right? Then...
Of course.
Yeah, we gotta do it. We gotta find out who Nagito's killer is. No matter who you guys sacrifice, you're determined to survive and leave this island, right? Then the time for action is now. So allow me to give you the familiar Monokuma fight. Hold it right there. What? Hey, don't get in my way like that. I was about to whip out the Monokuma file in such a cool way.
Stupid brother.
Shut up! I can't stand this anymore. How much longer are you going to keep putting him through this? Maybe one more chapter after this, depends. No more! I won't let you! I'll make sure I pulverize your evil intentions!
Hey.
Say something!
What's this?
Oh, now I remember who you are. You're Monomi! You just now noticed?
Like...
Anyway, Monomi, if we're gonna talk about my intentions, why don't you talk about yours first? What are your intentions anyway? Why are you keeping everyone cooped up on this island? I'm sure everyone here wants to know too, you know. What? No fair, now you're setting up too! Wait. Enough already! We already have enough to deal with concerning Nagito. Please, do not say anything else that will confuse us!
Hey,
Anyway, let's begin. But,
this is just...
I mean, in the end we still have to do it, right? As long as a killing happens, we can't do anything about it, right? We have no choice but to do it, right? Besides, it's our fault that we couldn't even prevent it. I know. That's the only way we can survive, right?
Nice.
Looks like you kids are way more well-behaved than Monomi.
Don't fuck with me.
We're tired of this too, you know. That's why I'll definitely make sure to finish this for good this time. Does that mean you guys are getting bored of this school trip?
Actually,
Don't worry, the end is near. The end?
what's the matter?
Don't make a face like a pig that's about to become bacon. You've already noticed it, right? The big bomb with the timer. The meaning behind that Monokuma timer. It's got like 2 days left or whatever. I guess there's only 2 days left, huh? When that timer reaches 0, 2 days from now, what will happen to us? That killing school trip will be over.
Hey.
This will be finally over.
serious?
Does that mean we can go home?
What are you gonna do?
Don't count your bears before they've hatched. There's still something you gotta do before that, right?
So...
Once again,
The Monokuma file!
you guys need to find out who Nagito's killer is and survive the class trial. If this ends here, there won't be an afterward at all.
Do your
Okay.
best.
Do your best.
Wait!
Hold
I
on.
won't forgive you.
I won't let you escape this time. Wait right there. Do you think if you're playing the Monomi mode, like Monokuma's like the last boss or something? What do you guys think? If the school trip is nearly at an end, it's safe to think that we can go home, right?
Still.
I mean, just why even bother thinking about it right now? Kazuichi, I understand how you feel, but we need to focus on Nagito's case first. Even if we can go home, it'll be the end for us if we screw up here.
All right!
Then let's hurry up and solve Nagito's case so we can all go back home.
However...
It is nice to think everyone can go home, but that is impossible, right? I mean, someone in this room killed Nagito. There's a killer among us. The weight of those words began to sink into me. That was true of the previous cases, but was it really true this time? No matter how much I tried, I couldn't believe it. Because the victim was Nagito. Because his death was so abnormally cruel. No, it wasn't just that. There was something more to it than that. Whatever it was, it stuck inside me. It was stuck inside me. Investigate! Alright, so there's all kinds of stuff going on here. So like before, we've got like a final investigation theme, it would seem. Kill command? Is that what that said? Kill command! First, we need to look at the Monokuma file. Well, it's bumping so far, this theme. Oh, hell yeah, guitarist, go off. The victim is Nagito Komaeda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plush factory. Interesting, it doesn't usually say where it's discovered, because we know that, usually. And then we did this time. Did it say near the Monokuma plush factory? Oh, inside the warehouse near, right. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in the stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. What a tragic situation. Just reading this is making me depressed. Is there something wrong with this Monokuma file? Again? But what's wrong with it? Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. Oh, I see. It doesn't mention which actually killed him. If he bled out from his legs, or if it was this wound in his gut, or if it was even drugs or something.
Yep.
It's definitely weird.
Well, I guess I'll find out if I look around. That's what the investigation is for.
Don't worry or form conclusions on your own. That makes me more worried than I should be.
We can discuss it later. Right now is our only chance to investigate. So we should investigate first.
And in her defense, Hajime, she doesn't know if you're the killer. She probably thinks you aren't, but anything she theorizes may be worth not saying out loud to catch the killer. And something they shouldn't know.
So we should investigate first.
See?
So my imagination is a bit of this melody that the guitar is playing from the first game. Investigation theme. I think it's maybe my imagination. Whatever the case, it's awesome.
If we don't, there won't be anything for us to discuss.
Oh, well, I guess you're right. Then let's start with the area surrounding Nagito's body. I should start with the back of the warehouse. Since the curtain blocked most of the water, this area wasn't affected by the sprinklers that much. Thanks to that, I can probably investigate Nagito's body. Never thought I'd have to investigate Nagito's body. You probably didn't expect to end up like this either. Are you sure? Who knows what this man was thinking. File number 5 added. Let's have a look at the plushie, the broken bottles, and then Nagito's body. Monokuma's dead. There's blood coming out of his stomach. Hey.
No response. He's dead, Jim.
Just kidding. I'm not dead. Is this one of the life-size plushies that were being produced at this factory?
If you're mistaking a plushie for me, then there's something wrong with you.
You're a stuffed animal too.
Don't put oversized garbage there. It's so misleading.
What the heck?
What are you calling oversized garbage?
Could this be one of Monokuma's tricks? Then why'd he do it? Making a hole like he got stabbed and going to the trouble of dirtying the hole with blood? Did he try to imitate Nagito's body or something?
What are you saying?
I had nothing to do with that.
You're so
He's probably lying. Seriously, you're always lying. You should just die like that plushie over there.
this?
You seem more pissed than usual these days, Monomi, but you better watch what you say. If I feel like it, I can wipe you out easily, you know. Yeah, I won't give in to your threats. I'll fight you until the very end. I will definitely take back the seat of world supremacy from Monokuma.
Looks like those annoyances are gone. If it wasn't Monokuma's trick, then who did this? Could the killer have done this? So, is this Nagito's blood? I have no idea how this connects to the incident. One does indeed wonder. It's like someone was trying to show someone else how to kill Nagito.
If only everyone could go home. Nothing would make me happier. No, we should finish the class trial, then we can think about what will happen after.
I'm not freaking out about it like Kazuichi, but I definitely can't stop thinking about it. When the Monokuma timer reaches 0 2 days from now, what's going to happen?
Huh? What's gonna happen?
That's
This
obviously
rotten school.
wrong.
What's gonna happen? This rotten school trip is gonna end, right? We can finally go back home.
Carefree till the end. You guys keep describing it as carefree. I've not once seen him as carefree. He's been like a little deranged and just sometimes overly freaktastic from the day I met him. Does that mean you don't think that'll happen?
Well, yeah.
Monokuma might be planning to make us do something after the countdown ends.
Hey,
Well, what do you mean something?
shut up.
He's making us kill each other, you know? What could be worse than that?
Damn it.
I don't know. But this is Monokuma we're talking about, you know? There's no way this will end smoothly with a countdown. Anyway, like you said before, if we screw up here, it's the end for us. For now, let's focus on the investigation. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial. I think we'll only be getting to the school ruins in this. Like, we'll find the password somewhere in this investigation, or will it be like before, where we go to a trial and then something bad happens in the middle of it, and then we go out, and only then are we able to go to the ruins or something?
But don't bring up strange stuff like that.
She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. What happened? Is there something strange about the ceiling?
Yeah, about that sprinkler.
That's one of the sprinkler heads that activated to put out the fire.
You can see a girder right next to it, right? There?
See?
Can you see that red streak?
Looks more pink to me, actually, but... You're right, I definitely see it. It looks like a small red line on the ceiling girder.
Is that blood?
Blood? The color definitely looks like blood, but there's no way blood could get out there, right? Plus, it's in a straight line. Yeah, it looks like something like with a sort of rigid pattern did it. So it's almost like the spear was not the cause of death. It was already covered in blood and like dropped from the ceiling into him or something. And so it left a mark here and then fell into him. Plus, it's in a straight line.
That's why I've been staring at it. I think it's strange.
It's definitely strange. I should remember this. Alrighty, ready? It's an oil lighter. This is where the curtains would have been hanging. It also looks like the fire did extensive damage here. If the oil lighter was placed here...
Just kidding.
Ah, an oil lighter. Someone probably wanted to keep warm.
It's on.
Is the most foolish thought. This is clearly the cause of the fire.
Well,
Oil lighters can continue to burn even after someone lets go of them.
which means
So using that, the curtain was set on fire.
Using the oil lighter, huh?
Do you think the killer set up some sort of trick with it?
You are right.
The killer probably planned to destroy evidence by setting this warehouse on fire. Because of fire to destroy evidence. That's the only reason I can think of why a killer would set their fire to their crime scene, but
They had to have noticed the sprinklers, right? So it's hard to imagine that they really thought that would actually work. And moreover, there's much less fire damage around Nagito. If he's the evidence you wanted to destroy, you would have set him on fire, surely.
looks like a bunch of plastic bottles. Remnants of plastic are scattered all over the place. This is probably... those fire grenades that we used to put out the fire. Well, they weren't actually that useful in the end.
Seemingly. It's as if someone had replaced them with something.
The fire was only extinguished thanks to the sprinklers.
The fish of the table.
Well, nevertheless, this evidence really isn't all that strange.
You don't think so?
I never expected Nagito to die like this. He was always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us, but even so, dying like this is just too cruel. Also, he wasn't completely useless. There were times where we were only able to reach the truth because of him. But everything good and bad about him is gone. We'll never be confused by him again. We'll never be saved by him again.
Well, I don't know if you'll never be confused by him again. I find myself constantly confused by him, or at least a little exhausted.
No,
Now is the time to think of... Shut up! Sorry, Ajimi.
no, now isn't the time to think about unnecessary things. I need to focus on the investigation right now. For now, I need to investigate everything about this body that catches my eye. A spear with a flashy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nagito's stomach. There's no way around it. It looks like the fatal wound.
What's this?
Oh my! What's this? Such a strange looking spear, isn't it?
No way it's the fatal wound. I might have believed it if Monokuma hadn't just interrupted us from talking about it. Well, like I say, I'm like 98% confident it isn't.
Such a strange looking spear, isn't it? A cord extends from the tip of the handle and there's an iron weight attached to it. I see. You use the cord as a whip to capture the enemy and deliver the final blow with the spear.
Is this your first time looking at this too?
Of course not. This is the spear of Gungnir, right?
You definitely just came up with that just now.
Hey!
Now,
By the way, I wanted to ask you, where did that spear come from?
are you telling me you weren't privy to the discussions we were having in the castle? What the hell were you doing while we were discussing all that then?
I feel like I saw it at Nezumi Castle.
Nezumi Castle? I was designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there.
Oh, I guess that might be a reason for you to not look at the surveillance camera. Anyway.
Damn you mice! Damn you all to hell!
I see. Even he doesn't know what's inside that castle.
That is interesting. It feels pretty pertinent. I'm not 100% sure why. I guess it would mean that he doesn't know the password to the ancient ruins. Not that it's visible now, of course. But what it means is someone who wasn't Monokuma scratched out the password, if we believe what he says about not being able to go in there.
Well, more importantly, I need to focus on the investigation. The spear definitely catches my eye, but the weight on the end of the cord is coming out of the handle. It looks like that part has blood on it too. But for some reason, this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it.
So how I said earlier, it looks like it had a pattern on it, almost like it was struck by something striated. The girder, I mean. Looks like that was probably this. Like this whip thing snapped up and hit it there. Of course, if it was already bloody, that wouldn't remove all the blood. So it's more like it was hung from there, I guess. And then blood splattered out. I don't know. Something's weird about that anyway. But I'm pretty sure the correlation between that line up there and this spear is the bare spot on the cord, though.
It's about the size of a human fist. It's strange that this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it.
Oh, you think someone was holding it from there?
Also, Chiaki mentioned this earlier, but apparently that spear came from Nezumi Castle. It might be better if I confirm that later.
Spear of Gungnir has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
He must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonizing look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered with duct tape. Was this to keep Nagito from screaming for help?
This is bad.
Jeez, what a horrible look on his face. The blood splattered all over it doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth is covered with duct tape, otherwise I wouldn't be able to look at him.
Got a minute? Sorry, excuse me. Chiaki moved past Kazuichi and me and squatted down next to Nagito's face. She gonna take it off? She is. And in one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off his mouth.
Hey, what are you doing?
It's gonna be fine.
It'll be fine. I'll put it back right away once I'm done investigating here.
She's gonna investigate his throat for traces of poison or whatever.
Putting the tape back isn't the issue, you ungrateful swine! You're gonna get cursed!
The blood on Nagito's face. It looks like it mostly came from the slice on his left arm. If that's the case...
It's no use, she's not listening.
I mean, you're shouting obscenities at her. Why would she listen?
Hey, about the blood splatter on his face,
There's no blood under the duct tape.
What's wrong with that?
Well,
This duct tape has crinkles like it was sticking toward the inside of his mouth, right? Nagito was probably desperately moving his mouth under the duct tape.
Seriously, what's wrong with that?
She means Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he got those wounds all over his body. So he tried to shout, which caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. But what's wrong with that? Is that something we really need to worry about?
I don't really get it, but just put the duct tape back on his mouth already.
You said that wasn't the problem.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, this might be some kind of clue too. I should remember it. Nagito's right wrist is tied with rope, but it looks like the tip of that rope burned off. Could this be a result of the fire? But that's weird. If the rope is burned off like this, why are Nagito's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? Fine questions also.
Do you suppose the remote detonator? They said it would detonate the detonator would remotely activate the fireworks. So I suppose it could have remotely activated some kind of fire in this part of the building as well.
There's a cut on his upper left arm. His legs and right hand have stab wounds, but this wound looks like a slice. That's probably the reason the wound on his left arm doesn't look that deep compared to his other wounds. Oh, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound and there's blood everywhere.
super difficult.
There's something strange.
Strange. What?
See?
Look at the palm of his left hand. I think that blood is from when his left arm was sliced, but doesn't the blood splatter look strange? It cuts off right in the middle of his palm,
Like he was holding something.
It definitely cuts off. Maybe that's as far as the blood could reach when it splattered?
you know, that would explain the blood on his palm, but
There's something else that's strange.
when you flip it over and look at the back of his hand, here there's also blood, but only above the middle joint of each finger.
You're right. Why is it only on this part?
Like he was wearing fingerless gloves or something.
See?
It's just as I said, right? It's strange, right? I win.
Yeah, sure, you win.
You always win, Chiaki.
But it's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make the blood splatter like this?
I think the question is probably more like what state was the body in. No, it can't be fingerless gloves because it does crawl up the back of it, like the sides of his fingers. It's more like he was holding something roundish, like maybe he was gripped onto this cord or something. It says maybe more like he was trying to fight back with the spear.
Both of Nagito's legs are tied up. Each rope is tied to the pillars nearby. He wouldn't have been able to move at all.
Well, maybe not at all. Oh, I suppose if his right arm was formerly constricted, yeah.
According to the Monokuma file, the wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. Does that mean the killer didn't just tie up Nagito, they also stabbed his legs? Why would the killer do something like that?
Damn it!
At any rate, it's pretty sadistic. The killer must have been holding a huge grudge toward him. Or they might have been torturing him. Torture?
Huh?
I mean, if they just wanted to kill him, they could have just stabbed him once in the chest, right? If you disregard the spear in his chest, the other wounds were inflicted for reasons other than killing. Which means the wounds all over Nagito's body were from the killer torturing him.
Actually, it's more like if you regard the spear in his chest as the murder weapon, it suggests that the other wounds were for something else.
Which means the wounds all over Nagito's body were from the killer torturing him? If that's the case, what was the killer trying to make Nagito confess? Was it something that would have led to the traitor?
Seems doubtful. Well, even if this was torture, there's no doubt that the killer must have held a deep grudge toward Nagito. I mean, the whole thing of this chapter was Nagito was like, you don't need to give us a motive this time, I'll deal with the motive. And then he started talking about the traitor a whole bunch, so I mean, it makes the most sense is that the traitor is the killer. To me, anyway.
Well, even if this was torture, there's no doubt that the killer must have held a deep grudge toward Nagito. If he's gonna let him die easily, I can totally understand a dark impulse like that. But even if they held a grudge against him, would they really have gone this far?
It does strike us a little bit much, doesn't it? Torture wounds added. We are supposing that torture is the way, though. Did I do the knife yet? Yeah, okay, there we go.
The knife is stabbed through the Nagito's right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cruel?
Into a concrete floor, no less. Maybe Jill's around.
This knife, it must be from the military base.
Military base? Now that you mention it, you're right. It looks like a survival knife.
Well,
By the way, it seems the wounds on his legs and left arm were caused by that same knife.
Do you think?
Which means after the killer was finished stabbing Nagito's legs and left arm, they stabbed the knife through his right hand.
it cannot be.
And then they finished him off with the spear.
How cruel.
Then does that mean the killer went to the trouble of using two weapons, a knife and a spear? But they could have just killed him by stabbing him with the knife. Why do they need to use a spear at all?
You are right.
That is definitely strange.
It seems more like the rope was burnt off before the fire, but they wanted to immobilize his hand, so they stabbed it through the... Although you would think, I mean, it would be painful, obviously, but you could probably... If your hand was stabbed into... Well, I guess if it was stabbed through concrete, it had to be in there pretty firmly. I don't know. It strikes almost, though, as though the knife was used to immobilize his arm.
That is definitely strange. Was there a reason they had to use it?
The reason they had to use the spear. Huh.
Once again, if Sonia was the killer, it would be a little weird for her to ask helpful questions like that. Is it my imagination, or does the bloodstain behind him on the ground have like a pattern on it? Like a weird pattern.
I guess I'm done with the area surrounding Nagito's body.
Apparently it doesn't.
Jeez, I can't believe I actually investigated such a exquisite-looking body. Even I'm surprised at myself. Does this mean I'm used to it? My classmate's dead body is right in front of me, and one of my peers is the killer responsible. I had to investigate his death so I can find this killer. Am I used to something as abnormal as that? That would mean I'm becoming abnormal too.
It might. It just might. Although with the way you respond to doorbells and stuff, you're a little abnormal already, Hajime. In a good way. Mostly.
One of us killed Nagito in such a cruel way. It's just too bizarre. I can't do anything except laugh.
Right. Fire grenade. I don't know with the plushie and stuff, right? Guess I'm off. I should investigate here a little more. Guess I'm not off. Did I talk to Akane yet?
It mattered for Gundam's killing and for Mikon's, but it looks like it's different this time. It doesn't matter this time. What doesn't matter?
The time. Looks like the time doesn't matter. It was clearly written in the Monokuma file. The time of death was noon sharp.
If it was at noon, what were we doing at that time about to defuse the bombs, which, the gas ran out a little before noon, if memory serves. So in other words, he died like real recent, if the Monokuma file is telling the truth.
What were we doing? Well, right now it's...
It's 12:30 p.m.
So it also has a clock function.
And that means Nagito died 30 minutes ago. It happened that recently? He's totally a fresh kill.
Fresh seems like a bad way to describe it.
If it happened 30 minutes ago, was it around the time we were struggling with the bombs?
You're right. Those fake bombs were originally supposed to explode at noon.
Which means whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time is Nagito's killer. But this could be like when Nekomaru died. The killer could have also used some kind of automatic setup.
Also, the crime looks very detailed, so they would have needed time to prepare.
But whoever doesn't have an alibi before we found the bombs is suspicious. Wait, none of us have an alibi for that time. That's when we all split up to search for the bombs.
Yeah, that's the problem. Now then, I guess that's enough investigating in the area behind the curtain. The killer's goal wasn't just killing Nagito. There should have been another reason as well. If not, they wouldn't have gone to the trouble of tying him with rope and covering his mouth with duct tape. Not just that, there's no reason to inflict any wounds other than a fatal one. So what was the reason? Looks like I better investigate other areas to figure that out. Alright, I should try investigating the other areas inside the warehouse first.
You mean just like backing up a bit? Like here? Sure. These ones almost look like they're set up like dominoes. Do they not?
There are a lot of tipped over Monokuma panels. The panel near the curtain in the back is tipped over and burned. Did the fire do that? But why are they scattered like this? The last time I came here, I seem to recall
they were all in a stack.
They should have been neatly put away. Maybe we're the ones who made this mess?
See?
Look, the tipped over panel by the entrance is really close to the door, right? So maybe the reason these panels tipped over is...
It's fine, I'll open it slowly.
No, that's not the problem.
Seriously, it'll be fine.
Those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse.
It's not opening. Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it. I know, it's a trap. Seriously, just stop it, okay? Then I tell you it'll be fine. That's gotta use a little more force. What happened to open it slowly?
Akane ignored their protests and with a mighty kick, the door flew open. Could it be? Was that it? And there's something else I've been wondering.
Hey.
These Monokuma panels are tipped over starting from the entrance to the back of the warehouse, right? They seem to be lying on top of each other in a straight line. Yeah, compared to the other tipped over panels, that line is the only one that's neat and orderly.
So...
Isn't this clearly strange? Strange. That means we can speculate this was done intentionally.
Indeed. It's almost as though they were used to... Well, no, the fire... I can't remember now. Was the fire brewing when we opened the door, or did it like sort of kick up when we opened the door? I'm totally forgetting now. Anyway, panels at it. It's possible that the panels were done to... were tipped like this to start the fire. They also could have been tipped to drop the spear into him or something. Like the spear maybe used to be tied to the thing above him. Although that'd be pretty... If a spear suddenly dropped... It wasn't that high off the ground, so you wouldn't think it would have enough force coming down to straightly stab neatly into him. It'd probably like sort of hit him and bounce off or bend a little at least. Like go crooked into him, if at all. So it'd be a pretty big gamble if you were the killer banking on the spear to fall into him after to make it look like that was the murder weapon or whatever. What is with the black outline here? Oh, it's definitely not supposed to be there. Right here. Anyway, sorry. Books.
There are a bunch of books stacked on top of each other. Apparently they contain Monokuma's poetry and photos. The sprinklers completely soaked them. I can't even turn the pages anymore. Well, it's not like I'm missing much. Looks like Sonia's focused on investigating the warehouse. Which reminds me, there's something I need to ask her about. Now that we pretty much finished investigating Nagito's body, I think it's time to talk to her. Hey, Sonia, do you have a minute? And she was going to ask her about what she was doing in the military base. Yes? What is it? I want to talk to you about when that fake bomb Nagito set in the warehouse exploded. Right before it exploded, you said something like this, right? It is alright, it is not a bomb! Why did you know the bombs were a fake? Well, that's not all either. When we were looking for the bombs, why were you at the military base? I thought you were supposed to be searching for the central island? Plus, when I called for you, you didn't come to the factory right away. Where were you and what were you doing during that time?
Oh my! It cannot be.
Do you suspect me? It is a misunderstanding. I am not the killer. Jesus shit, you son of a bitch!
Sonia?
I am sorry.
I am terribly sorry. I was panicking. I shall calm down and explain to you why I was at the military base. When I first explored the final island, I discovered a vast amount of bombs there.
Again, it's kind of hard to tell. Anytime a character goes, hey, wait, could you be the killer? Usually in this game, it means it's not the case. But she's definitely sus to the point that it's like, she could be the traitor at least. But then it seems like the traitor being the killer is the only thing that makes sense. Or it's whoever else was on this island. But if I'm right that that's Makoto, he doesn't seem like he would suddenly be a murderer. Anyway, getting way ahead of myself.
Well,
At first, I was worried that someone might use them for nefarious reasons if I announced it to everyone, so I kept silent the whole time.
Does that mean when you heard Nagito planted bombs, you got suspicious and went to investigate them?
that is.
And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found.
And because you were searching for them, you were late when we all gathered.
Please listen.
And because of that, I reached a conclusion. The bombs Nagito brought were from the military base, which means they were fake bombs.
Why? I don't understand why that means they would be fake. How did you find out that the bombs at the military base were fake?
Because I attempted to use one of them.
I
What?
see.
I thought one of the bombs would be strong enough to blast open the door to the ancient ruin. At the time, I still believed the bombs were real, and I thought that I could use one of them to gain the entrance to the ruin.
However,
Monomi's watching.
that plan was an utter failure. The bomb was not real. It was merely a fireworks display. God damn it, all to hell!
I see. So that's why you're the only one who knew the bombs at the military base were fake.
I did. As did Monomi as well. She was also secretly peeking at the bomb. Which means...
The flashback sound is cut off.
If those bombs are the same ones that disappeared, it would mean Nagito took them. That is why I knew it was a fake. However, I did think it was strange when Nagito blew up the hotel lobby.
I thought it was strange too, is the funny thing. How could he have done that if all his bombs were fake?
That bomb was real, and I could not stop thinking about it. But upon further reflection, that might have been Nagito's plan all along. He showed us a real bomb to make us believe that the bombs he set were real as well.
Well, yeah. But the question remains, where did he get an actual bomb?
So then Nagito's actions were extremely calculated. But the problem is his reason for doing it.
With this, I have explained everything.
Have a minute.
There should be no more reason for you to doubt me.
You're right, I got it.
You're still something really sketchy is going on with you, but I'll drop the issue for now. Oh, the MP3 player is now examinable by us.
This is an MP3 player, there's even a speaker plugged into it. But why is this here?
He was playing the hymn, no doubt. It looks like that weird music was playing from here. Apparently, this is Hajime saying this. You know, that music that was blaring when the fire started?
Yeah, you're right.
Looks like it's busted from getting drenched by the sprinklers. There's no mistaking it. That music was playing from that MP3 player.
I don't disagree with that, but why was the killer playing music from this?
So we couldn't hear... They said it was playing at like full volume, so... Maybe it was so we couldn't hear Nagito trying to signal to us, so that we wouldn't know he was still alive at that time. I'm not sure.
Alright, I've pretty much finished looking for clues inside the warehouse. I was able to find some clues, but there are still so many things I don't understand yet.
Hold it.
You look worried.
Yeah, I am.
Well,
At a time like this, it might be good if you broaden your investigation range.
Well, we gotta go to Nemazumi Castle for one thing. Maybe it's worth looking at the hotel lobby also.
You mean it's good to investigate other places as well? She might be right. There are several things I've been wondering about besides the crime scene. The military base that Sonia mentioned, the plushie factory next door, Nezumi Castle where the spear originally came from, and Nagito's room too. If I'm going to understand the reason for his actions, I need to know more about him.
I'm pretty sure the others have already finished investigating.
can you hear
Hey guys,
me?
isn't it about time we leave this place and try exploring other areas too?
In response to Chiaki, the others gathered around her.
See.
I agree. I was just thinking about proceeding to another area. It seems we have the same idea.
But is it safe? There won't be anyone to guard the crime scene. I didn't get a chance to talk to everyone else in that room, but it's fine. Obviously, it means it wasn't absolutely vital. I never noticed that his tie has like a cow skull on it. All the, like, creepy needles in it.
Yep.
We don't have a choice. There just aren't enough of us. Besides, we've investigated all we can here.
I don't know why they're making Chiaki all weird also, though. I guess... I assume Chiaki's fine. I could be wrong. But it does have the feel that they're gonna, like... They're making her act a little weird so that later on they can be like, what if Chiaki's the killer? and you'll have a percentage chance of believing it. Pretty close to 0, but you might still have it.
I guess you're right.
See?
Also, it looks like the clues we found aren't enough to piece this incident together, so we need to search for them in other areas. Probably.
I mean, I suppose to a point, if we've all got enough of a picture of the crime scene, then someone tampering with it wouldn't necessarily help.
Well, alternatively, if there aren't any clues in other areas either, we'd have to give up completely.
You don't really need to say that.
Hey!
And it's okay if we leave this place.
It's okay.
Apparently it is.
There's no time for us to stand around. In order to survive, there's no other way except to do it. In order to survive, we need to find Nagito's killer. If we don't sacrifice that person, nobody can survive. That's our reality. That's why there's no time for us to stand around.
I'm keen to go to Nagito's room. Next time on Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair, because that's all the time we have for now. But we made solid progress this episode. We found Nagito's corpse and investigated the building surrounding it. So there you have it. It does feel like it's going to be a cool trial somehow, but I'm prepared to eat my words on that. I've noticed how weird it is that the door into the factory here is like off-center with all this, like the silos and everything. That's so strange. The next video on the channel is going to be a short and silly one, most likely, after which is some more of this, where we're headed into the final act or the penultimate act, depending. You'll have to see where they take it, friends. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I'll see you around. Admiral's gonna be out of here now. Peace! So you've never seen Brad die before? Man, a lot of this must be hella complicated. Must have like walls and walls and walls of flowcharts.